If your newsfeed is filled with headlines about Gaza, you're not alone. The conflict has dominated global attention, with updates pouring in every hour. For many, the sheer volume of information can feel overwhelming, and it's hard to know where to start or what's actually happening on the ground. If your map skills are rusty, this is your chance to catch up. Gaza is a narrow strip of land along the Mediterranean Sea, bordered by Israel and Egypt. It's home to over 2 million people, making it one of the most densely populated areas in the world. The region has a long, complicated history, and its geography plays a major role in the ongoing conflict. If you want the facts, you're in the right place. We're breaking down the latest developments, the reasons behind the offensive, and what it means for people on both sides of the border. On September 16th, Israel began a large-scale ground operation in Gaza City, deploying 2 military divisions. This marked a significant escalation in the conflict, as Israeli forces moved from airstrikes to boots on the ground, signaling a new phase in their military campaign. The stated goal? To dismantle Hamas infrastructure after months of escalating attacks and airstrikes. Israeli officials say they are targeting command centers, weapon stockpiles, and tunnel networks used by Hamas fighters. The operation follows a series of rocket attacks and border clashes that have left both Israeli and Palestinian civilians on edge. For the first time, the Israeli military announced an official timeline. Securing Gaza City could take several months, possibly longer. This is a departure from previous operations, which often had open-ended objectives. The military says it wants to avoid a prolonged occupation, but acknowledges that rooting out Hamas will not be quick or easy. With more time needed to fully clear the area, Israeli troops are conducting house-to-house searches, dismantling explosives, and facing fierce resistance from Hamas fighters. The urban environment makes every advance slow and dangerous, with the risk of ambushes and civilian casualties high. This offensive is considered the main phase of the campaign. Armored vehicles and tanks roll through narrow streets while drones and surveillance aircraft monitor from above. The Israeli government says this is a decisive moment in their effort to weaken Hamas's military capabilities, but the humanitarian impact is severe. Gaza's infrastructure, already fragile after years of blockade and previous conflicts, is being pushed to the brink. Entire neighborhoods have been reduced to rubble, and families are left searching for loved ones and basic necessities amid the chaos. According to Gaza's health ministry, more than 64,000 people have been killed since October 2023, with over 165,000 injured. Hospitals are running out of medical supplies, and doctors are forced to make impossible choices about who to treat first. The wounded often wait for hours, sometimes days, for care. In the last 24 hours alone, dozens more have lost their lives. The death toll continues to rise, and the true number may be even higher, as many victims remain trapped under debris or unaccounted for in the chaos. Hospitals are overwhelmed, and over 320,000 people have fled their homes, seeking shelter wherever they can find it. Many are living in schools, mosques, or makeshift camps, with little access to food, clean water, or electricity. These displaced families face shortages of shelter, water, and basic supplies. Aid organizations warn of a looming humanitarian catastrophe, as fuel and medicine run dangerously low. Children are especially vulnerable, with many suffering from malnutrition and trauma. The United Nations has strongly condemned the operation, calling the situation intolerable. UN officials have called for an immediate ceasefire and unrestricted access for humanitarian aid, warning that the civilian population is paying the highest price. Meanwhile, Israel denies allegations of genocide and insists that it is acting in self-defense. Israeli leaders argue that Hamas uses civilians as human shields, making it difficult to avoid collateral damage during military operations. International reactions are mixed. The U.S. continues to support Israel, providing military aid and diplomatic backing. American officials say Israel has the right to defend itself, but have also urged restraint and the protection of civilians. European leaders, on the other hand, warn of worsening conditions. Some have called for an immediate ceasefire, while others push for renewed peace talks. The European Union has sent humanitarian aid, but says more must be done to protect civilians and prevent further escalation. Meanwhile, some Israeli officials worry the offensive could endanger hostages and troops. Families of those held by Hamas have staged protests, demanding that the government prioritize negotiations for their release over continued military action. These concerns have fueled calls for a possible ceasefire. Peace activists and international mediators are working behind the scenes, hoping to broker a deal that could halt the violence and open the door to dialogue. As the ground offensive continues, the situation in Gaza remains critical and uncertain. The future of the region hangs in the balance, with every day bringing new challenges and heartbreak for those caught in the crossfire. We'll keep you updated as new information comes in. Our team is monitoring developments around the clock, bringing you the latest updates, expert analysis, and on-the-ground reports to help you make sense of this complex crisis. For more news explained clearly, don't forget to subscribe. Stay informed, stay aware, and let us know in the comments what questions you have about the situation in Gaza or other global events.